Okay, so we're in B&Q car park at Nursling, a popular spot to come and do a little bit of bay parking practice when it's out of hours. I'm just going to carefully wind our way out of the car park here and then have a look at some roundabouts. The first roundabout here, our intention is to turn left. We're checking our mirrors, signalling left, and our intention at the next roundabout will be to go ahead. So you can see the signs there, clear to the right. And if we look at the floor markings, we can see ahead can either be in this middle lane or the right hand of the two lanes. So unless we are overtaking queuing traffic or slower moving traffic, our default position would be the left of the two lanes. So in this case, the middle lane of the two lanes that can go ahead. Checking that the lights are green. At this point we pass the junction, the exit before the one we want, so we check our mirrors and start signalling at this point. So it's a left-hand signal. Checking the mirrors on the approach to the lights, just to check they don't change on us. Checking nobody's overshooting that junction, keeping to our left-hand lane, and anyone who'd taken the outside lane would be using the right hand of these two lanes. Now approaching the next roundabout, and we want to take the third exit. Again, it's beyond 12 o'clock, and if we look at the lane markings, we can again use either this middle lane or the right hand lane, but as this lane is free, this is the appropriate lane to use. Signalling on exit, having first checked the mirrors. New road, new mirrors, just make sure nobody's overtaking us there. Anyone who's been using the outside lane. So just to orientate ourselves, we've got David Lloyd Leisure Centre straight ahead of us, and we are turning left at these traffic lights. And we'll be heading along towards a sort of Ordnance survey building roundabout. 3 mirror sweeping, checking down the inside before making that left-hand turn. New road, new mirrors. Start to see the route board for the roundabout, but it is quite concealed behind the overgrown hedgerow there. Start to get our view, and our intention is to take the first exit, M271, M27 direction. So I'm checking centre mirror, left signal on approach, positioning into the left-hand lane, getting the speed right for that, and gently flowing on. New road, new mirrors, and now we get a clear view of the next roundabout, and our intention is to go ahead to Nursling Industrial Estate. So again, we're now looking at the floor markings, and we can see we've got a dedicated left-hand lane, so we will take to the middle lane, which is for ahead and also for a left-hand turn. We're not turning left, we're not turning right, so we're not signalling at this stage, but we have now just passed the M271 exit, so at this point we check our mirrors and put a left-hand signal on, as our intention is to take the next exit. The road to our immediate left is the on-slip to this roundabout. The exit we want is this one just here. New road, new mirrors. This roundabout, our intention is to turn right into B&Q car park. Signal before moving the car across into the car park. As you can see, we've switched cars to give a different over-the-shoulder perspective. So hopefully hopefully you'll be able to see head movements from mirror checks and gear changes. Possibly not what my feet are doing, but hopefully it will give a clearer view of what we're doing and when we're doing it in relation to the roundabout. Now approaching the roundabout towards the Ordnance Survey head office, and our intention at that roundabout is to take the first exit. That's signed, as we can just see here behind the hedgerow, M271 and M27. So centre mirror, left signal. Position is to the left-hand lane. We're in the speed phase, and actually speed and gear are fine. They just dropped off naturally. Third gear in this car is fine to flow. And at the next roundabout, our intention is to go ahead. So 12 o'clock exit. If we look at the floor markings, we can see that ahead is in this middle lane. It's also acceptable in the right-hand lane, though as there is not heavy traffic today, say normal convention would be that we take the left-hand of the two head lanes. This middle lane. Again, short shift before we cross the give way line, so we're in a nice positive drive. Left mirror, left signal, as we intend to take the next exit. Having a quick look at the condition of the motorway below, and we can just see the on slip to the roundabout from, or the off slip rather, onto the roundabout. Check nobody's overshooting that. And here are our dotted lane line markers that neatly flow us to our exit. At the roundabout we are going to go full circle. So centre mirror, right signal, waiting till the hatching comes to an end before moving the car, but checking nobody's going down outside and observing that. Driving on, taking to the centre disc. Then checking the lorry. Left mirror and shoulder, left signal. We're going to exit directly into the middle lane as we intend to go ahead to Lordshill. Lights are currently green, checking the mirrors in case they should change. Driving on. That's the exit before the one we want, so left mirror, left signal. Checking the mirrors, gently bringing the car to a stop at the traffic lights. Lordshill, Nursling, Raynham's. We look for guidance on the floor marking. So Lordshill is in this lane, middle lane. Checking the mirrors as we flow on. Left mirror, left signal. Partnership. The van has been out enforcing speed limits. Again, we're approaching the Ordnance Survey head office, sort of round about that area. our intention is to take the first exit, sign for the M271 and the M27. So mirrors signal, position to the left lane. It's going to be clear today, so we can flow straight on. Nice wide open view, nice sweeping approach to the roundabout, so quite safe to carry a reasonable amount of speed. We're going to go ahead at this one to Nursling Industrial Estate, and we can see that we can use either of these two outer lanes. So we'll use the middle lane, default position as we drive on the left. So when we've got the two options to go straight ahead, we take the left of those two. Lane markers, flows neatly. Our intention is to take the second exit to Lee. So before 12 o'clock, so that will be a left-hand lane approach using the clock face convention. Take to the outside of this, being aware of this cyclist, left mirror, left signal. Our intention at Millbrook roundabout is to go ahead, so that's the second exit. So what you'll notice from the route board is we've got a first exit to the left. There's a little stubby line that comes on the route board there, a little stubby one that indicates the on slip to the roundabout, and then we're going to take dock gate 20 exit. So effectively we're going ahead. So we're now looking for road markings, and then we can see from both the road markings and the board there that dock gate 20 is ahead in this lane. So we have selected the correct lane, and that again is reinforced by the floor markings here. Just pausing to have a look at that. So you'll notice there is a junction just to the left here, just before this roundabout. So if we have been intending to take the first exit to the left, we would time our signal very carefully not to cause confusion with that left junction, although it is a no entry as we can see, but nonetheless we'd be cautious about putting a signal on which could confuse other road user types. You may not be viewing the road as a motorist would. We'll also hold back here. So just to confirm, our intention on this occasion is to go ahead. So at this point we aren't signalling, because we're not turning left, we're not turning right, we are going ahead. The other thing to be careful of is misguided courtesy in this situation. Obviously we've left space which the BMW has taken, but cars to our left should be giving way to us. So when the lights change, we will look to move our car forward to avoid causing confusion. Three mirror sweeping, moving the car forward. Into our lane, and our intention is now to take the next exit. So we left mirror, left signal, move the car across. We're actually going to take the next road on the left, so I'm checking my centre mirror, left signal, avoiding the hatched area, and we're noting this is a one-way street. I'm just going to leave the camera running on this section because there's an interesting double give way here. So first of all we've got to give way, and as you can see we've got a cyclist coming across our path. So that was what the first give way is for, and here comes another cyclist, so we check that. They have priority, and then we have immediately another give way which relates to this road. And as you'll see, this road has traffic that comes from the right before becoming one way for the roundabout. So it's an interesting double give way there. Very easy to become fixated on the second give way and miss the crucial one for the cycle lane which crosses a path there. So that's a very important one to be aware of. I'm sure your observations are strong there. Our intention is to go ahead. So we're going to take the second exit. So it'll be signed for dock gate 20. Just checking the mirrors as we've got the cyclist crossing. So dock gate 20 is our intended course. See from the board here. And ahead would normally be left-hand lane. As we can see from the road markings and the board here, dock gate 20 is indeed this lane. So we're in the correct lane, but we're not signalling yet because when there is an exit before the one we want to take. So there's an immediate left-hand exit, and so if we were going to take that exit, we would be putting a signal on. However, there is actually a left-hand junction where you can probably just see the van over there at the moment. So we will delay any left-hand signals if we're going to use one until we pass that to avoid any confusion. It is a no entry as the sign says there, but generally it's preferable to reduce any risk of any confusion, because other classes of road user might not view the road as we do and might not think, oh yeah, that's a no entry. So in that situation, just delay your signal. But just to confirm, our intention is not to turn first exit left. We're going to go ahead. So that will be the second exit. Frequently scanning for other road users filtering through, so motorcyclists and cyclists. And we're just aware that we've got an L car ahead of us. So it does appear to have an instructor and a pupil in it, so potentially a new driver, so we're going to give them time to move off. Don't know what level of training they're at the moment, but if they're down at Millbrook, they've had quite a bit of training, you'd hope. The lights are changing, 3 mirror sweeping as we prepare the car. You can avoid misguided courtesy of inviting the other car to pull out, it tends to cause confusion. So, the L car has gone off to the left, first exit, signalling as we described, well-timed signalling. We've positioned into this lane, and so we've now just passed the exit before the one we want, so this is our time to mirror and signal. Holding back on the large vehicle so we get a view, confirming the lights are still green, checking to the left nobody's overshooting that. And we then got some pedestrians crossing. We cancel the signal as we're in the new road, but then immediately mirrors and reapply the signal as we take this left, keeping out of the hatched area, noting it's a one-way street. Just having a little look at, there's an interesting double give way here. We've got a give way that we're just stopping at now, but then the green hatch markings, and as you can see from the left, a cyclist is approaching. So we are giving way for cyclists and the cycleway that has just crossed our path. The white van ahead of us is at a second give way, so you can see the give way sign there, and that is giving way to people oncoming from the right. So cars and the black van there that's coming from the right. Very easy to get fixated on the give way sign and miss this first give way sign. And it's obviously crucially important that we don't, because that's relating to cyclists crossing our path. Unfortunately, the traffic flow calls our van to stop in an awkward position. Otherwise, we could be making some progress here, but nothing we can do about that at the moment. But just be very mindful, as we've been discussing the cyclists, before we move off we must be giving way, so we need to be checking. Very active. Here comes another one in high visibility, so there we go, got eye contact, great. Obviously the van behind wasn't aware of that, but they were keen to tell us with their horn. So cyclist is now taken to the cycleway. Say with COVID situation, we're seeing a lot of more pop-up cycle lanes to encourage us all to get out and get healthy and get distance from each other rather than travelling in vehicles. So this will become much more common. So we need to make our observations very strong on that. Our intention will be to take the next left as we approach Millbrook roundabout. We'll just pop a signal on to confirm that we are taking that exit. We are going to turn to the right, and so the sat-nav instruction would be to turn to the right, Millbrook Park. Firstly, obviously we have to be aware of the pedestrian crossing, but if we check the floor markings, we'll see that against normal convention of turning right in the right hand lane, we actually need this centre lane to make that turn. So we keep to our centre lane. Centre mirror, left signal. Checking the mirrors, 3 mirrors scanning, just giving that car time to clear. Again, new road, new mirrors. Immediately we have another roundabout, and we're going to go ahead at this roundabout. Exit Millbrook and Dockgate 20, so we've already done that. There's actually nobody behind to signal for, so no need to confirm our exit. Looking ahead, we can see the traffic holding back and the large transporter lorry. Now our intention, if we look at the route board here, is to take the second exit. So we've got the 9 o'clock exit to Dockgate 20. We've then got 2 stubby lines, which are actually the on slips, and then we have the Millbrook Park exit, which is where we're going. And then beyond that, at about probably a 4 o'clock clock face reference, we have the A35 and Fareham. So if we look at the road markings, if we want to take the A35, we should be in the right hand lane. For everything else, we should be positioning in this left hand lane, which then, as we cross through these traffic lights, becomes the centre lane. So hopefully all of that will become clear. Right lane, just for clarity, the right hand lane is only if we are going fully right to the A35, Fareham and General Hospital direction. 3 mirror sweeping. Slightly ahead of myself there. Now we're 3 mirror sweeping again. Important to do that again if you do your observations early. So I can clear the junction just. Checking the mirror, there is space just to ease myself around. So we're looking to make safe progress. So that was acceptable as long as I checked my mirrors. There's no point in sitting, waiting. You shouldn't, even if the lights are green, you shouldn't cross the line if you can't clear the junction safely. In that case, obviously the back of the lorry was sticking out, but having checked my mirrors, there was nobody behind, so it was quite acceptable to get on with it. Just being mindful, we have got a large articulated lorry, as we've seen, that will be going round the roundabout at the same time as us. So just be aware of that driver's blind spots and the extra room they will need to get such a large vehicle and an articulated vehicle around that. So be very mindful. So we can now see the driver in their mirror, which gives me a degree of confidence. This is quite a small car. Again, you wouldn't want to be putting it, and they're turning off, but you wouldn't want to be putting your car down the inside of it until you were very sure of the course it was going to take. Left mirror, left signal. Bringing the car gently forward. There's a motorcyclist quite legitimately filtering through, so we're looking for when we scan in our mirrors. As we said before, it's fine to cancel your signal if we're waiting for a long period of time, so it's not clicking away as a distraction, but before moving the car you don't want to reapply it. If a cyclist was to come down my inside and they thought I was going straight ahead, and in fact I'm turning, that's when things can come astray, so that's why signalling is so important. So 3 mirror sweep, popping the signal on. Cancelling the signal. At the roundabout, our intention is to go ahead, checking the mirrors, not signalling on approach, signalling on exit. Okay, so we can just see Millbrook roundabout in the distance there at the traffic lights, but before we get there we have a roundabout, or a mini, and we're going to go ahead at this roundabout. The mirrors. Our intention is to go ahead. Room for us to enter our lane. So left mirror, left signal. Following signs for the city centre. Cancel that signal. But then we will be joining the multi-lane dual carriageway section where traffic will be moving slightly faster, so use this stretch of acceleration to try and match our speed. Though we have a lane gain here, so we can just continue in our own lane, but we're now up to sort of mid to late 30s, so we're moving at an appropriate speed for prevailing traffic conditions for this road on today's conditions: light traffic, dry road, good visibility. And we can get our first view of Millbrook roundabout, the route board. And we're going to pause at these lights, which will give us a chance to have a good look at that route board. And our intention is to turn right for the following signs for the M271, the West Redbridge and Topham. 3 mirror sweeping. But interestingly, if we look at the lane markings, M271 to the board here, M271 to the west can also be approached in either this left-hand lane or the right-hand lane. So clearly it's a busy roundabout, it's a big roundabout, so they've got 2 lanes to move a larger volume of traffic. So normal clock face principles would dictate that we would use the right-hand lane and take to the centre disc, but this spiral type roundabout gives us specific lanes and specific lane markings to follow. The key thing is, having selected the right lane, which we've done, is to remain within that lane as we go round the roundabout and not cross lanes. That's the key danger point. So bring the car to a stop. It's quite handy that we've got this pause. So we will actually be going around this roundabout, rather than close to the centre disc, which would be normal convention for turning right. We're actually going to be taking the outer edge, the outside edge of this roundabout, and following it all the way around the outside. There'll be another lane, which is effectively the middle lane, which will be alongside us, and that will also be potentially exiting the 271 and 271 direction. And then the inner lane nearest the centre disc is actually going all the way around to the A35. So checking our mirrors, a little bit ahead of the traffic sequence there. Obviously there's a number of set of lights here, so wait out of gear until the amber light comes on again. If we were shunted from behind and we're in gear and our foot jumps off the clutch, we then start driving into the danger zone. And on a stop-start car, which this one isn't, it also gives us some environmental benefits. 3 mirror sweeping. So we follow round, keep to this outside lane. As you can see is M271, as is the middle lane. So we're now at the outside edge of the disc, and obviously normally you exit roundabouts from the outside edge, so we could be exiting here, but we're not. Following around M271, but we are exiting now. So left mirror at the left signal. Checking for anyone crossing the lanes mistakenly. The black car has come round in the outside of those 2 lanes. New road, new mirrors. Speed limit now becomes 40 miles an hour, and this is actually a lane gain. So whilst I'm checking my right hand mirror and right hand shoulder for anyone looking to cut back in to this lane, we can remain in this lane. And now, as you can see from the route board, if we stay in this lane, we can exit onto the M271. Lane line markings confirm that we are in that lane. No real need to confirm that, it's obvious from our road positioning. Again, interestingly here, if you look at the floor markings, either of these 2 lanes can go to the right, to the M271 and then onto the M27. So traffic is light today. We would only use the outer of the two lanes if traffic were heavy, or if there was an advantage to be had if there was a particular slow moving vehicle. But for the purposes of today, we can use the outside, the left hand of these two 271 lanes. Holding our signal at this stage because there was that final junction there, but now left mirror, left signal. Got siren blue lights, just checking where they're going. Cancelling the signal, keeping out the hatched area. As soon as the wheels are straight, we're going to take third gear, and then we're going to look to move over left mirror, left signal, moving over, and we're going to exit to Lordshill. Blue lights, checking our left mirror, left signal. So the police car's gone well ahead. There's some more blue lights behind, looks like an ambulance, so we're just being mindful of what's going on, but at the moment it's not affecting us. We're going to actually exit into lane 2 here, because our intention at the top will be to turn right. So we'll just exit into lane 2 to avoid an unnecessary switch of lane. We're going Lordshill to the right. Right signal, end of motorway regulations. We can actually turn right in either of these two lanes, so the inner lane is free, so we'll take that one. 3 mirror sweep, move the car on. Short shift there to second, give us a nice flexible gear now, hopefully. So from this lane we could either exit down to the next exit, but that's not our intention, so we've kept the signal on, we've kept a right hand signal on, confirm that we intend to come on round, and now we change that left signal to the right signal and take second gear once we're clear. Somebody's mowing the grass there. A bit of momentum in the car, so we can just bring the clutch back up again, no need to stop, mirror sweep, exit into lane 1 of the 2, and then that car alongside us is followed round in the inside lane. So we have those 2 lanes. Similarly on this one, we're going to turn right to Lordshill, but we can do that in this centre lane. We can speed out. Right hand signal helps this person understand that I'm turning, following on round, but now I've changed the right signal to a left signal before exiting. You head now to the next roundabout in the Ordnance survey. It's going quite briskly. Centre mirror, left signal. Position is to the left hand lane. In the speed phase now, getting the speed right down. We've got one car coming round, so we're going to wait for them. Take the gear, gently flow on. New road, new mirrors. We're going to take the first exit left, M271. Are changing. So this is motorway regulation. That's a 59-an-hour speed limit. So we've used the on-slip here to build speed. So we're travelling out 50 miles an hour, but we're warned that queues are likely. We're also warned that there's some temporary roadworks going on. Checking the right hand mirror, position of safety away from this HGV. Keeping off the strop there. And we're immediately warned of a roundabout. We had the lane gain, so we were joining by lane gain there. As we can see, we're going to take the first exit left, sign Southampton Docks A33. There is a dedicated lane. see if that lane is functioning because of the roadworks. So generally, given the roadworks and we're not familiar with what's going on here at the moment, we will approach with caution. The speed limit has been temporarily reduced to 30. Left mirror, left signal. And the lane does seem to be in place and seems to be flowing. Motorway regulations end there. Two-cone crossing is clear, checking the mirrors. People working off to the near side. Speed limit rises at this point to 40. As the roadworks come to an end, pick our speed up. And we have a lane gain, so we can just flow in, but we're checking our right-hand mirrors just to check nobody's looking to come across and meet us at that point where the roads converge. To exit, checking the left mirror, left signal, moving across. The road narrows from our side, so once we have moved to the left hand lane, so where there is some narrow road, and we will take the first exit to the left. So centre mirror, left signal. So we've got some pedestrians crossing there. Tyres and tarmac on the Mini ahead. Again, secure the car. We're going to be here for a while. We can cancel the signal to avoid it becoming a distraction and irritation to us, but it's important that we tell people where we're going. So imagine a cyclist coming down our inside, so before we move the car, when we prepare the car, when we get the amber light, we're going to put the car into gear, we'll do a 3 mirror sweep and then put our signal on. We should have plenty of time to do all of that. We're frequently mirror scanning now. So 3 mirror sweep, put that signal on, check down the inside before turning to the left, short shift into second, looking to the right. We've obviously got the block of the HGV there, and we're going to take this first exit. 30 mile an hour speed limit. Immediately got another roundabout ahead, so checking it's clear to the right. The left signal on exit for the benefit of the van opposing and the one behind. New road, new mirrors. Looking ahead now to the roundabout, we can see there's a temporary roadworks sign and some cones. Our intention is to go right to Lordshill and Ordnance. So centre mirror, right signal. Our lane choice is constrained by the cone, so we can only use the right lane, but that is the lane we would have chosen for a right turn, but today it would be the lane we choose for any direction by virtue of the cones. Approaching this whole section very cautiously. If there are cones there, there can be people working there. You can see somebody in high visibility there. So very cautious through here, speed right down. That's the junction before the one we want. So now centre mirror, left signal. Final left mirror and shoulder check before moving the car and exiting into lane 1 of the 2. So lane 1 is our normal left-hand lane. We drive on the left, so our preferred road positioning choice, unless we're passing other vehicles or traffic. Our intention at this next large roundabout is effectively to go ahead. This is quite an extended roundabout, so we'll take the default position of the left-hand lane and follow around. We'll mirror and signal on exit. pop a right hand signal on just for the benefit of that silver car to make it clear that we are coming round. Centre mirror, left signal on exit. 40 mph speed. So we're in a different car now, with a different camera angle. Hopefully the over shoulder camera angle will give you a perspective of what I'm doing with my head in terms of mirror checks, and also with gear changes and the timing of those gear changes in relation to the roundabouts and the other hazards we're going to encounter. So looking ahead, we were warned of a school crossing, and we can see that the Toucan crossing is clear of pedestrians either side, though there is a pedestrian just beyond it. And we now get our first view of the roundabout route board. Our intention is to turn left to Lordshill, but we're warned of some roadworks and the road narrowing from our side. So I'm checking my mirror, centre mirror, left signal. Normally we would be positioning to the left hand of the two lanes, but the cones prevent us from doing that, so we've got to approach it in the right hand lane. We're in a speed phase now, speed right down, taking second gear. There's our opportunity to flow on. Reapplying the signal, which is cancelled, exiting into lane one of the two. As soon as the wheels are straight, we bring the speed up. Our intention at the next roundabout is to go ahead, which is effectively a 12 o'clock exit. So using the clock face convention, we were approaching the left hand lane, but won't signal at this stage because there is an exit, so that's exit one. We're going to exit here, so left mirror, left signal, being mindful of buses pulling out, cancelling our signal. Again, at this roundabout we're going to go ahead, which is the second exit. So mirrors, considering a signal but not signalling because we're going ahead. Position is the left hand lane, we've got the speed right, we can gently flow on. There's the exit before the one we want. Left mirror, the left signal. Bring the speed up now, firmly gas up. Final check in the right hand mirror, check we're not being overtaken. Taking a higher gear for economy. Okay, so our intention at the next roundabout is to go ahead, which is effectively a 12 o'clock exit. So it's a second exit. So using the clock face principles as our guide, we would approach in the left hand lane. So mirrors, considering a signal but not signalling because we're taking the second, not the first exit. Position is in the left hand lane with a speed phase now, taking the gear for that speed and flowing on. There's our gap. And then flowing round, left mirror, left signal. Just checking for buses. Again, we're going to go ahead at this next roundabout, so it's a second exit again, same principle, flowing on, following the road round, left mirror, left signal, exiting into lane one but seeing it's blocked, checking the mirrors, signalling and moving out early. Go full circle on this roundabout. So mirrors, signal, we're already positioned into the right hand lane, we had no choice today because of the roadwork cones. Checking for our gap. I'm going to short shift it up into second before I go on to the roundabout, so I'm now in a gear that will take me all the way through the hazard. Approaching this whole roadwork section with caution. For anyone working or anyone confused by the roadwork diversions, speed generally low. So that's the exit before the one we want to take. So I'm checking my left mirror and shoulder signal, final mirror and shoulder checks before moving the car and exiting into lane one of the two lanes. Cancel the signal, now all four wheels are in. And then at Sainsbury's roundabout, so Sainsbury's is off to the right, our intention is to go ahead also. So not signalling on approach because there is an immediate left hand exit which would be confusing, but now left mirror, left signal. It's next roundabout, our intention is to take the first exit left. So centre mirror, left signal. Positioning into the left-hand lane. And driving on. So roadwork signs, checking our mirrors, moving the car out after signalling to deal with the cones. Our intention is to go ahead. Now normally we would be approaching that in the left-hand lane. It's a 12 o'clock exit, so we've normally approached that in the left-hand lane, but today because of the cones the left-hand lane is not available, so we're having to adapt our driving plan. Checking the mirrors, we've passed the exit before the one we want, so left mirror, left signal, and cautiously exiting, looking for anyone working in the road. Traffic lights, Toucan crossing is clear. So at the roundabout, our intention is to take the second exit, go ahead. So using the clock face principles, it's a 12 o'clock exit, so we won't be signalling on approach. So we'll be checking our mirrors. So we've considered the signal, but won't be signalling because we're not taking the first exit to the left. We've positioned into the left-hand lane in the speed phase now, so I'm on the brakes, actively looking for my gap to the right, but firstly checking that the cars ahead of us have cleared. Taking second gear, there's the opportunity to flow on. So the clutch is back up before we cross the giveaway line. And the road around. Left mirror, left signal. Being mindful of the bus stops. Exiting into lane 1, cancelling the signal once we're into the lane. Our intention at this roundabout is to turn left first exit, so centre mirror, left signal. Position is already in the left-hand lane. We're in the speed phase now. We can keep the momentum in the car in second gear. Leaving the signal on, reapplying it. Final mirror check on exit. Go full circle. So mirrors, signal. Being mindful, this is a bit of an unusual manoeuvre. Quite acceptable in the highway code. They prefer not to do it for mini roundabouts, but as long as you've got a centre disc, but just do it slowly, get eye contact with any other drivers you meet. Roundabout, we're going to take left first exit. And we can see the roadwork sign in the blockage. I'm checking my mirrors, putting a signal on before moving the car into the right-hand lane. And at the next roundabout, our intention is to go ahead. So normally we'd be approaching this clock face 12 o'clock exit to Redbridge and Tottenham. We'd be approaching in the left-hand lane and keeping out wide. Today, because of the roadworks, that option isn't available to us, so we're approaching the right-hand lane, but not signalling because we're going ahead. We're not turning left, we're not turning right. Rolling first gear, so we're ready. There's a gap opening. And now we're looking ahead to the roundabout. And there's the route board for it. We're warned there's some roadworks there, so the road is going to narrow from our side. And our intention is to turn right, third exit to Shirley and Southampton. I'm checking my mirrors, putting a signal on. I'm particularly cautious because of the roadworks. Taking the lower gear to control that speed. There's our gap opening now, we can flow on. Again, scanning for anyone working in the road. The cones suggest there may be people working on this section of road, so vulnerable road users, pedestrians in the road. At this point, we're checking our left mirror, left signal, and we would be moving the car over, but the cones prevent us, so we just have to hold our position until now we can exit. New road, new mirrors. Now I'm going to take a lower gear for that to match that 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, so everything's on the gas pedal. We're warned of the roadworks, the road narrowing from our side. Our intention is to turn right, third exit. Centre mirror, right signal. Checking the pedestrian crossing is clear, and that the cars ahead of us are clearing the giveaway before we consider looking to the right, looking for our gap, flowing on nicely. Very cautious because of the road working going on here. Taking to the centre disc just as we normally would. This is the route we take anyway, even if it wasn't for the cones. The only thing that becomes a bit different is as we mirror and signal now, normally we'd be moving across to where the cones are, but we just have to stay out a little bit wider, a little bit longer, and exit centrally. New road, new mirrors, cancelling the signal. Blue lights ahead, checking the mirrors, they've got space to come through, so I don't really need to change my course, keeping near side, but they've got plenty of room, we're not inconveniencing them. Checking the mirrors before moving back out. Mirror at right signal, position the car into the right hand lane, in the speed phase now, taking the gear for that speed, checking to the right, it's clear and we can flow on. So we're taking centre disc, keeping that right hand signal on as we follow the centre disc around, not putting in too much speed, but again check the signal doesn't cancel, which it would have done if I hadn't reapplied it there. Centre mirror left signal, start moving the car over and claiming our road space. New road, new mirrors. We've got quite a pacey car behind us. So we're going to show brake lights early on the approach to this Mini. New road, new mirrors. Get the signal cancelled. Our intention is to turn right. Mirrors, signal. Position into the right hand of the two lanes. Gently bringing the speed down. There's a gap. And there's our last exit. So left mirror, left signal. Gently claiming our road space. Roundabout we intend to turn left into Sainsbury's, centre mirror, left signal, bringing the speed right down. Just confirming that car is going ahead, yes it is. And as we enter a retail car park, as like any other car park, speed limits will invariably be very low because there are lots of activity. Lots of pedestrians on their phones, lots of reversing of cars, and lots of young pedestrians as well. So car parks will invariably, for all those reasons, have very low speed limits, and typically will have one-way systems which we should observe, and we should observe the road markings in the same way we would any other section of road. One emerging from the right, but we have got a 12 o'clock block so we can proceed. At the roundabout our intention is to turn right. At the roundabout our intention is to turn right. Right mirror, right signal, positioning to the right hand of the two lanes. There's our gap turning on. Taking second gear while the wheels are straight on this long section of the roundabout. Holding the signal on it would naturally self-cancel. Checking the centre mirror, left signal. Moving the car over, claiming that road space. Our intention is to turn left, the first exit at this roundabout. So we're taking the left mirror, left signal. Position was already in the left-hand lane. Bringing the speed down, flowing on. And again, just reconfirming our exit with that left-hand mirror and signal. At the end of the road, our intention is to turn right. Centre mirror, right signal. Positioning to the centre line. Rolling first gear. There's our opportunity. At the roundabout, our intention is to turn right. Centre mirror, right signal. Well sighted, but we can see a black car coming. They're turning around, but the blue car behind is going ahead. Making an attempt to go round this disc. 20 zone, checking the mirrors, traffic calming. At the roundabout our intention is to turn left, so left mirror, left signal. much adjustment to our positioning. It's reasonably narrow here, but there's your view, early view, so we No need to bring it to a stop at the giveaway lines. We really shouldn't bring it to an unnecessary pause at the giveaway lines. There were no cars behind us, but had there been, they wouldn't have been expecting us to stop there. They would have been making the same judgments as we were, looking to the right, seeing it was clear. We suddenly bring the car to a stop for no reason, and it can invite rear end shunts. So for that reason it would be viewed as undue hesitancy. The mantra for roundabouts, when there is a view, let's be clear on this, if there isn't a view, if it's a closed view roundabout, you can't. But when you've got the view, you are preparing to stop but looking to go. So here I'm off the gas, checking my mirrors so I could stop if I needed to, but I don't, so I'm going to flow straight on. And that's the subtlety of difference. But be very clear, if it's a roundabout or any other junction where you have a closed view and you can't see, you must absolutely pause and take the moment to lean forward, keep and creep, do whatever you need to do to get your view. So don't attempt to flow a closed view junction, but one that is open. You have your view, get on with it, take your priority if it is there, to avoid causing confusion and frustration to other motorists. So at the next roundabout, our intention is to turn left by the Saints pub where the car is emerging. So mirrors, signal, position. Again, there's not much adjustment, it's a reasonably narrow road, but we're in the speed phase now. Pedestrian has just cleared the road. Bus is a long way back, so we can flow. We're entering a 20-mile-an-hour zone, and we're warned of it. Patrol, children, potentially in this area, lots of parked cars. It's a residential area with traffic calming. There's the school, that was a school patrol by the look of it. Roundabout, our intention is to turn right. Mirrors, signal, get the screen clear on approach. Rolling first gear, now we've got our view, we can drive on. We want to leave it in first gear till we've completed the roundabout. Left mirror, left signal, but then look to get it up into second gear promptly. Now the wheels are straight and we're on the new road. Gently bring the speed up. Maximum speed is 30 miles an hour. Have a quick glance to the left and just see if the motorway is flowing, which it is today. So I'm not anticipating large quantities of traffic piling off the motorway, as they would do if there was some problem on the motorway. So that's why it's good just to have a little check, even though we don't intend to use the motorway today. We've got a van parked near side, just beyond the bus stop. And what appear to be some cones, so there may be some roadworks and some yellow signage. You just see the roundabout route board. Our intention is to take the third exit to the right to Romsey and North Baddesley. Speed limit increases to national, so I'm checking my mirrors before gently bringing the speed up slightly. And then we're mirrors, signal, position to the centre line. So mirror, signal, position, we're in the speed phase. So we're on the brakes, we're warned there are no road markings, but the giveaway sign is there. And on this occasion we're going to have to bring the car to a stop at that giveaway. Taking the rolling first gear so we're ready to drive straight on. Take second gear at this point where we'll be protected by the centre disc. Left mirror, left signal. Final check of the shoulder, move the car out. Exiting wide to get an early view around this bend. As the wheels straighten, bring the gas in. The midpoint becomes a silver car ahead, and so we need to maintain a safe separation gap on that car, particularly as the rain is starting to fall, but the roads still remain reasonably dry. So next roundabout, our intention is to turn right, second exit. Positioned in the right-hand lane with the right-hand signal on. Taking second gear, clutch back up before we cross the giveaway line. We don't want to be out of a gear halfway across the hazard, halfway across the roundabout. New road, new mirrors. So obviously the intensity of the rain has increased. Notched our wipers up a speed. We've extended our separation gap on the silver car ahead. And again, we're very mindful of the cars behind us, because how close they are on a wet road will influence things like when we choose to signal, the timing of our signal, be that brake lights or the indicator signal as we approach the next hazard of the roundabout. We're warned of a school, and there's a no left turn, but it implies that cars can come out of this junction on the left. And there is a green car, so I'm just checking the mirrors, position of safety away from it. Getting a view of the route board here to the roundabout, and our intention is to turn left, first exit. So centre mirror, left signal. Position is into the left hand lane. We're in the speed phase now, so we're on the brakes bringing the speed down. Take the gear to match that speed, and we look, assess, decide, act is to flow on.